Hi students, a very pleasant and warm greetings to you all. In this session we are going to learn a new lesson, Reading and Biotechnology, lesson number 20. Listen carefully. Our first topic is animal breeding. Animal breeding. Now we can see the differences between breed and species. Before going to discuss this breed and species, let us know what is breeding. This breeding involves mating parents of different varieties, each having some desired trait which are passed on to the offspring. So breeding involves mating parents of different varieties, each having some desired trait which are passed on to the offspring. Now we can see the differences between breed and species. Breed, group of animals within a species with certain distinguishing characters. A group of animals within a species with certain distinguishing or special characters. Whereas species are group of living organisms with similar characters. Similar characters. Here distinguishing characters, here similar characters. Second point, breed. Breed is smaller than species. Smaller than species. Here species contains several breeds. These breeds are artificially selected group of animals. Artificially selected group of animals, whereas species are naturally selected group of animals. Then example, Rottweiler and German Shepherd breeds of the species. These are dog species. Here species, Felis catus, Panthera leo and Exercia coli. These are the different. These are the examples of species. Understand, children? So differences between breed and species. Clear? Okay. So next one, breeding. Breeding. So here we can see a bull of breed A. This is a bull breed A. 100% character is there, and here cow of breed B, 100% pure character. There is no cross here. So only the pure characters are present. So when we are crossing these two breeds, we will get the next generation. F1 progeny we will get. Understand, children? Breed A and breed B, we will get the F1 progeny, that is the crossed progeny. But when we are seeing this F1 progeny, it possesses 50% of this A character as well as 50% of B character. Understand, children? So it possesses this F1 progeny, the next generation possesses 50% of this A character and 50% of B character. Okay. The next one, this breeding, there are two types of breeding is present. Before that, we can see the objectives of animal breeding. So first one, improve growth rate. This animal breeding improves the growth rate. Second, increase production of milk, meat, egg and wool. Superior quality of milk, meat, eggs, wool. Enhance resistance to various diseases. These are the objectives of animal breeding. So objectives of animal breeding, these are the 4 points. Then this breeding, animal breeding divided into two types. Two types of animal breedings are there. They are inbreeding and outbreeding. So types of animal breeding, inbreeding and outbreeding. First let's see inbreeding. So what is inbreeding? What is inbreeding? Inbreeding refers to the mating of closely related animal within the same breed for about 4 to 6 generations. Listen carefully. Mating of closely related animals within the same breed. So about 4 to 6 generations. Superior males and superior females of the same breed are identified and mated in pairs. So have to select them. Superior high quality males and high quality females have to selected and mated in pairs. It helps in the accumulation of superior genes and the elimination of genes which are undesirable. So next generation it possesses them superior genes and it eliminates the undesirable genes. Okay. So what is inbreeding? Inbreeding refers to the mating of closely related animals within the same breed, that is known as inbreeding. So it possesses the superior genes and it eliminates the genes which are undesirable. Undesirable genes can be eliminated and only it possesses the superior genes. Example. So example it is given. So Buchaneri ewes and Merino rams. The next generation is Hizzardale sheep. So when we are crossing between these two sheep, Buchaneri ewes and Merino rams, the next generation we will get is it. So next generation, the example is Hizzardale. Hizzardale is a new breed of sheep developed in Punjab by crossing Buchaneri ewes and Australian Merino rams. Then inbreeding depression. Continued inbreeding reduces fertility and productivity. Continuously when we are inbreeding these animals, we will get it reduce the fertility rate as well as the productivity. Inbreeding exposes harmful recessive genes that are eliminated by selection. Inbreeding exposes harmful recessive genes that are eliminated by selection. So it reduces fertility and productivity. So an example is given here. See here, rabbits. So here AA and AA, that is a allele. So capital A indicates dominant allele. Small a indicates recessive allele. So when we are crossing between these two rabbits, capital A small a and capital A. So next generation, when we are inbreeding these two rabbits, next generation we will get these three. So first one possesses both capital A, second one capital A and small a, third also capital A and small a. Next generation, when we are inbreeding between these two animals, we will get the recessive characters small a. First, let's see what is outbreeding. It is the breeding of unrelated animals. See here, unrelated animals. The offsprings formed are called hybrids. The offspring is known as hybrids. The hybrids are stronger and vigorous than their parents. Understand, children? So cross between two different species with desirable characters of economic value or mated. Example, horse and donkey. When we are crossing between this horse and donkey, we will get mule. That is a outbreeding. Okay, outbreeding, that is a mule. So when we are outbreeding these two animals, we will get the next generation. That the name of the animal is mule. The next one is heterosis or hybrid vigor. The superiority of the hybrid obtained by crossbreeding is called as heterosis or hybrid vigor. So what is heterosis or what is hybrid vigor? The superiority of the hybrid obtained by crossbreeding is called as heterosis or hybrid vigor. So next, consequences of heterosis or effects of hybrid vigor in animal breeding. So first one, increased production of milk by cattle. Effects, increased production of milk by cattle. Second point, increased production of egg by poultry. Then third one, high quality of meat is produced. Then fourth one, increased growth rate in domesticated animals. So what are the effects of hybrid vigor? Increased production of milk by cattle, then increased production of egg by poultry. Then third one, high quality of meat is produced. Fourth one is increased growth rate in domesticated animals. Genetic engineering. Definition. Genetic engineering is the manipulation and transfer of genes from one organism to another organisms to create a new DNA called recombinant DNA. So genetic engineering is the manipulation and transfer of genes from one organism to another organism to create a new DNA. Okay, from one organism to another organism to create a new DNA. So it is called as what? Recombinant DNA. Yes, the term recombinant is used because DNA from two different sources can be joined together. DNA from two different sources. So that only I told, genes from one organism to another organisms. Have you got it? So genetic engineering is also called as recombinant DNA technology. Genetic engineering, another name is recombinant DNA technology. Then the next one is basic requirements of genetic engineering. Basic requirements. Here, three basic requirements are present, or three basic requirements are necessary. They are plasmid. First one is plasmid. Second one, restriction enzyme. Third one is DNA ligases. DNA ligases. So these are the three basic requirements. So first one, plasmid. What is plasmid? This plasmid is the small circular double-stranded DNA molecule found in the cytoplasm of bacterial cell and separated from chromosomal DNA. It can replicate independently. So this plasmid is a small circular double-stranded DNA molecule. Small circular double-stranded DNA molecule. It can replicate independently. This plasmids can replicate independently. Okay, so the presence of plasmid in bacteria that can undergo replication independently along with the chromosomal DNA. Okay, so that is a basic requirement. So first one. Second one, restriction enzyme. This restriction enzymes cuts or break DNA at specific sites and are also called as molecular scissors. So restriction enzyme, another name is molecular scissors. Why it is known as molecular scissors? It can cut the DNA into fragments. So for example, see here, this is a restriction site. Okay, DNA sequence, restriction site. So with the help of this restriction enzyme, we can cut the DNA sequence. Understand two? So now two fragments we got. So with the help of the restriction enzyme, we can cut the DNA sequence or cut it into two fragments. Have you got it, children? Okay, so that is the restriction enzymes. Then third one is DNA ligase. DNA ligase. DNA ligases are the enzymes which help in ligating or pasting or joining the broken DNA fragments. Okay, so it can paste the two fragments. The DNA ligase paste the sugar phosphate backbones or any other fragments. It can paste the two fragments. See here, so now two fragments are present. Okay, so with the help of the DNA ligase, we can paste the two fragments, or we can join the two fragments. Okay, so that is DNA ligase. With the help of DNA ligase, we can paste the two fragments or join the two fragments. So at last we got the recombinant DNA molecule. Okay, so these are the three basic requirements. So first one, plasmid. Second one, restriction enzymes. Third one, DNA ligase. First, let's see the definition of rDNA technology. It is a technique used in genetic engineering that involves the identification, isolation and insertion of gene of interest into a vector such as a plasmid or bacteriophage to form a recombinant DNA molecule and production of large quantities of that gene fragment or product encoded by that gene. In short form, we can say the term recombinant is used because DNA from two different sources can be joined together. DNA from two different sources can be joined together. So at last we can get large amount of product we can get. Okay, so using this strategy, several enzymes, hormones and vaccines also can be produced. Understand, children? Using this strategy, several enzymes, hormones and vaccines also we can produce by using this recombinant DNA technology. So now we have to see the steps in rDNA technology. Steps, there are 5 steps are present. Step 1, identification and isolation of gene of interest or DNA fragment to be cloned. Identification and isolation, that's the first step. Step 2, insertion of this isolated gene in a suitable vector. Insertion. Step 3, introduction of this vector into a suitable organism or cell called host, that is a transformation. Step 4, selection of the transformed host cell. Step 5, multiplication or expression of the introduced gene in the host. So these are the 5 steps involved in the rDNA technology. So one by one we have to see. Step 1, identification and isolation of gene of interest. From where we can get this gene of interest? From where we can get the gene of interest? So first one, genomic library. From this genomic library, cDNA library, chemical synthesis of gene. If we know the sequence, if the number of copies of the desired gene is not enough for gene cloning, we can opt for gene amplification techniques like PCR, polymerase chain reaction. So from any one of these places we can collect the gene. But now we have taken the gene from the genomic library. So from the genomic library only now we are going to take the genomic library. So from the genomic library we have taken human insulin gene. So this human insulin gene was taken from the genomic library. Okay, so gene of interest was taken from the genomic library, that is a human insulin gene. Step 2, insertion of this isolated gene in a suitable vector. Insertion, that is the second step. Okay, so vector, what is a vector? Any DNA molecule that has the ability to replicate inside the host to which the desired gene has integrated for cloning. So that is the ability to replicate. Vectors include plasmids, bacteriophages, cosmids, back, yeast vectors, shuttle vectors, etc. So now we have taken the plasmid as a vector. So from where we can take the plasmid? So E. coli, from the bacteriophage. So from the bacteriophage the plasmid is present, plasmid as a vector. So we have separated the plasmid from the E. coli bacteria, that is a vector. Then plus human insulin gene, that human insulin gene already we have taken. Okay, so now with the help of the restriction enzyme, just we have to make one cut in the plasmid vector. Okay, with the help of the restriction enzyme we have to make a cut in the plasmid. Then insulin gene already taken. So we have to incorporate this plasmid as well as the human insulin gene. So how we can incorporate this these two genes? So with the help of the ligase enzyme we can incorporate the plasmid as well as the human insulin gene. So that is over. So human DNA plus bacterial plasmid DNA equal to recombinant DNA. Recombinant DNA. So insertion, that is over. We have inserted the enzymes, we have inserted the gene, okay, with the plasmid plus human insulin gene, that is a recombinant DNA. Now step 3, introduction of this vector into a suitable host. Introduction of this vector into a suitable host. So we have incorporated the human insulin gene as well as the plasmid. So that is a recombinant DNA. Okay, so now where we have to introduce? So we have to introduce this particular gene into the host cell, genetically modified E. coli with our insulin gene. So that one we have to introduce into the particular host cell. Okay, so this process is called transformation. So this process is known as what? Transformation. Have you got it, children? So transfer of rDNA into bacterial host cell. This process is called transformation. Now step 4, selection of the transformed host cell. So after the third step we will be getting 3 types of medium. First one, non-transformed bacterial cell. Second medium, transformed bacterial cell with unaltered vector. Third one, transformed bacterial cell with a recombinant vector. So these are the 3 mediums we will be getting. We have to select the particular medium. So now we have to select the transformed bacterial cell with a recombinant vector. That medium only we have to select it. So that is the selection of the transformed host cell. Multiplication or expression of the introduced gene in the host. So already we have inserted the rDNA into the particular medium or particular host cell we have inserted. So genetically modified E. coli with our insulin gene. So this insulin gene or this this gene, okay, cloned gene produced millions of copies. Cloned gene produced millions of copies. Anyway, we need large number of copies. So we got millions of copies. So by using this method or this gene cloning method, we can produce several enzymes, hormones, and vaccines also can be produced. Development of Dolly. Dolly was a cloned sheep. We all know about Dolly, I think. Okay, so first let's see what is cloning. Cloning is the production of an exact copy of a cell, any other living part, or a complete organism. Cloning is the production of genetically exact copy of a cell, exact copy, or it looks like a mother from where it has taken that particular part. Okay, exact copy of a cell, any other living part, or a complete organism. That is known as what? Cloning. So this cloning was first introduced or first developed. Cloning was an animal was successfully performed for the first time by Ian Wilmot and his colleagues. So he was Ian Wilmot and his colleagues at the Roslin Institute in Edinburgh, Scotland. They have first developed the cloned sheep. So this is a cloned sheep. The name was Dolly, first cloned sheep. Okay. So this Dolly was born on 5th July 1996 and was the first mammal to be cloned. So this Dolly was born on 5th July 1996. It was the first mammal to be cloned. Okay, now how this Dolly was developed, that only we have to see now, how the Dolly was developed. So during the process of cloning Dolly, the scientist, already we have seen the scientist. Okay, so they have selected the sheep, Scottish Blackface as well as Finn Dorset sheep. They have selected these two sheep. Okay, now from the Finn Dorset sheep, a cell was collected. A cell was collected from the mammary gland of a female Finn Dorset sheep. A cell was collected. Okay, this is a cell. At the same time, they have collected the egg from the Scottish Blackface ewe. Okay, they have collected the egg from the Scottish Blackface ewe. Okay, so this is the egg. Inside of the egg, nucleus is present. So now they have removed the nucleus. So this egg is known as enucleated egg. Why? There is no nucleus. So it is known as enucleated egg. Okay, so this is a enucleated egg. So now the scientists have inserted the cell, already collected the cell from the Finn Dorset sheep. So that cell was inserted into the egg. Okay, so now this egg was implanted or inserted into the surrogate ewe, that is a Scottish Blackface ewe. So that egg was inserted into the Scottish Blackface ewe. Okay, children. So now development was takes place inside of the sheep. So at last Dolly was born. Dolly was born. Dolly was a cloned sheep. Healthy Dolly was born. Have you got it, children? Yes. So healthy Dolly was born. Understand? So this is the development of Dolly. So the scientist only developed this, produced the Dolly. So this Dolly was given birth by the Scottish Blackface ewe. It was found to be absolutely identical to the Finn Dorset sheep. So this Dolly was absolutely identical to the Finn Dorset sheep from which the nucleus was taken. Since the nucleus from the egg of the Scottish Blackface ewe was removed, Dolly did not show any character of the Scottish Blackface ewe. Okay, so this Dolly was a healthy clone of the Finn Dorset sheep. It was the healthy clone, and this Dolly also produced several offspring through sexual reproduction. So Dolly was a cloned sheep, but this Dolly produced several offspring through sexual reproduction. So at last this Dolly also died due to the lung disease. Because of the lung disease, this Dolly also died. Textbook evaluation. Roman number 6, question number 3. Short answer questions. Define genetic engineering. Define genetic engineering. Answer page number 292. First paragraph. Genetic engineering is the manipulation and transfer of genes from one organism to another organisms to create a new DNA called as recombinant DNA. Then Roman number 7, seventh question. Differentiate between outbreeding and inbreeding. Outbreeding. It is the breeding of unrelated animals. Number 2. The hybrids are stronger and vigorous than their parents. Inbreeding. It refers to the mating of closely related animals within the same breed for about 4 to 6 generations. Number 2. It helps to accumulate superior genes and eliminate undesirable genes. This question have to write it in your notebook. Then Roman number 8, first question. What are the effects of hybrid vigor in animals? Answer page number 291. First have to write the definition. The superiority of the hybrid obtained by crossbreeding is called as heterosis or hybrid vigor. Then effects of hybrid vigor in animal breeding. Increased production of milk by cattle, increased production of egg by poultry, high quality of meat is produced, increased growth rate in domesticated animals. Question number 4. With a neat labeled diagram, explain the techniques involved in gene cloning. Answer page number 292. First have to write the definition. Gene cloning paragraph. Gene cloning heading, third line. The carbon copy of an individual is often called a clone. The next paragraph. In gene cloning, a gene or a piece of DNA fragment is inserted into a bacterial cell where DNA will be multiplied as the cell divides. Afterwards, that 5 points have to write, then the diagram have to draw.